Hello and welcome, my fellow Lashpreneurs. We are continuing the conversation of the realities and legalities of expanding your lash business. Last week we talked about staying the lone wolf route, prioritizing work-life balance, and what that looked like to expand in your own tiny little world. And now we're talking about what it looks like to expand beyond just you. And I have my special guest today from Integrity Lash in Pasadena, California, Paul and Tuscany. Go ahead and introduce yourself and welcome.
Awesome. Well, you start. You go ahead.
That's all right. I'm Tuscany. I am a mother of three. I've got 3 kids. They're my most important relationships, my biggest treasures. They're almost fully cooked, though, kind of out of the little kid stage you're in right now. But my oldest is about to turn 27.
Oh, wow.
The middle one is 22, and the baby is 18. So.
Baby.
I've been an esthetician for 25 years. First got introduced to lashes at a Long Beach convention. It was in 2005. And I knew at the time that it was going to be amazing because lashes make every human being look amazing, right?
Great.
So I just knew that there was a lot of potential there. I started Integrity Skin, and we called it Integrity Skin because lashes were so new, nobody knew what the heck that was. And if I were to call it Integrity Lash, people would be like, I don't know what that is. So my whole business model was I would do skincare, and then I would give the lashes away for free because how do I get anybody hooked but by giving it away? So started Integrity Skin in March of 2006. And at the time, it was it was a mobile business. And by the way, mobile business in the state of California is not legal unless you have a specialized vehicle.
Right.
Wasn't quite aware of that. I'm not proud of that now. It's not something that I encourage people to do. Exactly. But it was a really hard way to make a living. Packing up everything and.
I was the mule. I had to carry all the equipment in. She brought a steamer. She'd bring a hot towel cabbie.
She went all out.
The first couple times people were like, oh, you can do it on my bed, or here you can do it on the floor, or this contraption on the couch. And I'd be like, Cirque du Soleil trying to hunch over, and it was just so, dogs, cats, everything. So I thought, I can't do this. I've got to bring in my own equipment. But it was huge. It was the mobile chair, and I brought a cabbie in and a steamer, and it hard way to make a living.
Yep.
So 2 months later, in July, I decided to get a brick and mortar location. It was a very small studio, 80 square feet in Old Town Pasadena. And
then after about 3 years, she got crazy busy. And like anyone who's crazy busy, she was working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day.
What's that like?
Yeah. She was like, you know what? I'm so amazing. I think I'm going to go ahead and hire a bunch of people because I'm such an amazing person, an amazing lash stylist.
Amazing practitioner and service provider, right?
Yeah.
I'm a lash artist. Therefore, I won't be a good business owner. It does not compute. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the time, you don't know what you don't know, right? Let's see. I hired my first person at that time, and it was just a little bit overwhelming.
Well, the big thing is you need help. So she ended up hiring a manager. That manager stole $5,000 from her. Ooh. And that was after only about a few months. Like she's right at it.
She's like, oh, it's my payday. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is mine, no?
Yeah. One for you and 2 for me.
Yep.
And so she did that. And at that point, I caught it one day on the weekend when basically we bounced some checks. Oh. And I just realized, okay, that's it. We can't do this. I can't manage this team by myself. I need some help. So she asked me, I came from Hollywood. I was working in the film industry. And she asked me in 2011 to quit my job. I joined her. And I had been helping her along anyways. Like when she did the mobile stuff, I'd carry the equipment. I'd go sit in the coffee shop while she was working there and do my work on my computer. So I joined her and basically took over the management of the staff because she is stuck in the room 12 hours a day doing clients.
Paying the bills.
The bills. And one thing
that's sweat equity.
And so at this point, we'll go through this in more detail, but we went through ups and downs, all sorts of crazy stuff. Anything that you think you've gone through, we probably already beat you to it, sadly. And but the good news is, we're tenacious. We will stick through. I always say we will work harder than anyone. Not because we're smart, probably because we're dumb. And we'll just do whatever it takes to get the job done. And, we built a little company that we're really proud of. I mean, last year we did 1.1 million. This year we're on track for 1.4. We're not Yeah, we're not super profitable yet. I will say that. We're still in the, I'd say 3 to 5% profit range, which isn't really that satisfying as a business owner. You really want more than that.
However, I have to say that that 4% is what is
that's the average in our industry.
The average in the industry.
Or average in the beauty industry. The average salon, the top 200 salons, the average beauty salon does about 4% profit margin, which is actually, when you think about, kind of sad when you work that hard to just get a profit. You know, most people are in profit ranges with like 10% maybe would be nice. So anyhow, that said, and then, you know, we've had some other success. We've been in the salon today, chosen 3 years running as one of the top 200 salons in the United States or North America. That is probably our proudest achievement. We actually got on the cover of the magazine this last January, which was
whoa, fancy.
Yeah, really fancy. It's embarrassing and exciting at the same time. And then, you know, we've been selected by many publications locally and a couple nationally for being the best in Southern California. And we also, if you go to our Yelp page, you'll see we have more 5-star reviews than anyone. I usually hate bragging, but I just want to give a little bit of street cred here before we get into the nuts and bolts. Right.
But this has been, what, 10 years in the making of you guys getting just to this point?
Yeah. Another 10-year overnight success story.
Exactly. It took me 2 years to be an overnight success, so I've cut you in half.
We're 10. We're very slow.
But so, Testany, go ahead and tell me about what it was like going from lash artist to business owner, and then Paul stepping in and managing a team. So you're going from the service provider over to the business owner, yet you're kind of dipping your feet into both ponds. What was your expectation going into expanding your business, and what was the reality?
Well, to tell you the truth, it's like I didn't really have the expectation that everything would be laid out, because that's just not where my head is. I just thought I need help. Therefore, I'm just going to get a manager, and everything's going to be taken care of. It's like my focus was the quality of the lashes, and I didn't have any idea about the business, which is why I so needed somebody.
Yeah, I mean, when she first hired, if you had a heartbeat, and if you had a pulse and a good sob story, we'd hire you, because you know, we want to help people out. We want to help people down their luck and have a better life. And
or have friends come in, or, you know, old beauty school student colleagues.
Hiring friends. Good idea. Not a good idea sometimes.
Well, I didn't know what I didn't know. And I just thought, just because I know somebody, I like them, they're friendly, therefore they will be a good employee. And no, I realized, oh my goodness, I have to be the one to explain expectations and benchmarks and things like that. And I wasn't too organized in that way. And
it was easy for us at first to say that the employee was the problem. But the truth is, we were the problem. We were so busy and that we would just hire anyone on the spot. We had no process. We had no thinking or an in-depth interview process. Now, the interview with us takes a month. You know, we're going to take our time. We want to make sure you're the right fit. We also want you to think you're the right fit. Like, I want you to get to know us. I don't want just hiring anyone. So it's a very it's a crazy process that we didn't understand, and we got into, and then we got ourselves a world of hurt. And I now realize, with a lot of former employees who've left and moved on, we failed them. They didn't fail us. We didn't equip them for success. We sanctioned incompetence. Like, they weren't really the right fit, but we hired them anyways because we're so desperate to have someone in the company that we just hired someone, and then later went, oh my gosh, this person's horrible. Well, that's our failure. We should have seen that. In fact, a lot of times we did see it, we ignored it, and then we set them up for failure, and then we have to let them go, or they quit, or something bad happens.
So there's bad blood, and it's
heartbreaking.
It's not. I never want to throw shade on, you know, former employees, because really, it's a leadership issue that started with us. No
employee joins your company hoping to be a bad employee. No one wakes up, I know, I'm going to destroy companies for my living. You know, they join hoping to be the great employee. They want to do great things, and then they come in, and then you fail them, and then you promise things you don't deliver on, and then you don't train them. You don't give them any reason to stay because you don't really invest in them. They're just walking into a room, doing their lashes, and going home like, why? I can do this on my own. But you have to really learn that you have to care about your team, you have to invest in them, and you have to basically make sure you find the right person and no compromise. Can't cut any corners there. We
found that there's 3 main reasons why that relationship doesn't work out. The first one is a leadership breakdown.
We're stealing from Entree Leadership. I'm giving credit.
Yeah, it's not like we came up with these ourselves.
This is not ourselves. We're not that smart. But yeah, leadership breakdown. It's just failure to be a good leader. One of the biggest hole in our life when we got into this is that we sucked as leaders. And we had to learn to lead. And you're not born with that. Or very few people, I should say, are born with that. Maybe Mark Cuban was born with that, but we weren't. And so we had to learn and change the way we do things and lead. Another one's personal problems. And by the way, the first one, that's probably 90% of the time.
Yeah.
It's just breakdown leadership.
Breakdown in trust.
Yeah, trust. And the next one is a personal problems come up. Sometimes, they have a kid, they don't know what to do. We've had that happen. Health issues. So that's out of your control. That's the wild card. That's the one you have no real say in.
But it's still your responsibility to, as the business owner, make up for it, because employees will call out sick. Who's going to come and do those clients? They will leave without notice. Tuscany, I think when we were trying to schedule something, you were actually at the salon because somebody couldn't make it and you had to go do a fix.
Yeah.
You're 10 years into running this business and you are still, stepping in.
Yeah.
That's right. There's one of our favorite thought leaders, Simon Sinek, and he's got not a podcast, but a talk about eaters. I always say this wrong. Leaders eat last.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's
so
like
do moms. So do moms.
Yeah, moms eat last.
Moms eat last. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really have to have that servant heart. If a problem happens, you're the one that's going to have to upend your plans to go and take care of the staff, the clients, the business.
So there is this kind of, at least the people that ask me what it's like to expand, that there's this fallacy, this flawed way of thinking that when you expand your business, you then get your time back and you get more money.
I worked a whole year for no salary. How about that? One whole year I worked, and that's not unheard of. I've met many salon owners. In fact, I know recently I met someone who has her own salon and is also a national trainer, and she confessed to me in private that she doesn't get a paycheck from her salon. She
common.
gets it.
Leaders eat last.
And so you have to be ready to work more. That's just the big ugly secret. If you want to be a good leader, if you want to be a crappy leader and you want people to leave you and be there for 3 months and just have turnover and chaos, go work 20 hours a week and you'll invite that chaos. But if you want to really, have impact and improve people's lives and have a legacy and have meaning, have purpose, you're going to have to spend a lot more time, 60 hours and more. I've worked a lot of over the last 4 years, 80 hours, even sometimes 100 hours a week when just all hell broke loose. So,
and you're still making 4% of $1.2 million.
Yeah.
There's this, it's almost, and we'll get into this next week, my next week's guest. She said as a solo lash artist, she would have had not as much money, but she would have had more money she could spend and more time to do it, because she is just all the business all the time, because the business isn't going to run itself. And if you leave your staff to run it, anybody with a brain to run a business or marketing skill is going to go do it on their own. So how have you guys competed in a market where things are done the wrong way by this 50% commission model that is independent contractors, which here in the US is an illegal misclassification of employees for the beauty industry? Yeah. How have you guys managed to compete with that? And how does your business model look as far as staff?
Yeah, for us, it really comes down to leadership, knowing your why and where you're going. And if you haven't taken the time to think about those things, I encourage you really to do that. Watch Simon Sinek's Know Your Why. It's a TED Talk. It's really great. It's the thing that made him famous. And he has plenty of books to support that. But that said, the way we're going to compete with, there's so many companies now today that are cutting corners and are misclassifying their employees because they don't want to pay the employer tax, or they're paying cash under the table. In fact, some ways I think we may see our industry move into the way of the nail world, where you do have people only taking cash and then learning. They teach, and a friend of ours who owns a nail salon just told us about this. And they teach their employees how to live off government subsidies. Because
they're paid cash under the table, so they qualify.
Yeah, they make $20,000 a year. Really, they're making $50,000. And then they can get 10.
Not if the Lashpreneur can help it.
No, thank God for you. And so we're up against that. And that's why our name's Integrity. We really want to do something different. We want to raise the standard. We want to show that you can be a good guy and do things right. And so for us, it comes down to first us learning how to be good leaders, because people won't follow you if you're not a good leader. If you turn around and no one's behind you, you're not a good leader. It just means the fact right now there's no one here. But anyhow, that said, you really need to learn to work on yourself and improve your skills. So that means reading books. That means going to seminars, I'd encourage you to follow Tara like crazy because she's going to equip you well and give you all that stuff. She gets it.
Good advice.
There's very few people I feel like in our industry that understand that, and I know Tara's one of them, so she's one of the good guys.
The voice of reason.
The voice of reason. So for us, yeah, she's not paying for that either. That's just us as big fans ourselves of her. But that said, really for us, we have to focus on two things. We have to focus on creating an incredible customer experience. So if we create this experience that other places can't create, the customers will never leave. So even if we lose a team member, they're going to go, wait, I'm going to go to that solo salon where I have to wait in a hallway, and then they only communicate me via text. And they also, no show sometimes, and then they show in and they're in a rush because they have their client waiting for them. I can beat that any day. We will blow that type of person away, and they will stay loyal to our company. And secondly, we have to build loyalty to our team. And that's by being good leaders, but also incredibly valuing our employee over the client. So the big thing for us is remembering that the employee is most important. We have this little circle of life in our company that said, my job every day is to wake up and try to make my employee's life better. And then they turn around and they make the client's life better. And then the client does this cool thing. They give us little pieces of paper with presents and faces on it. And that takes care of the company. And then the company, and that's the circle of life. And we keep that in order, it works. And then the employees feel important. They feel cared for. So we go over the top to try to take care of our team. We provide benefits. We have healthcare and dental. We have vacation pay. Christina's been with us for 5 years almost. She gets 3 weeks vacation pay now. We have sick days. We do monthly training for 3 hours. We just sit down with our team and work on their skill set. She goes in the rooms and works with our staff and tries to help develop. And we do reviews on a quarterly basis. We do one-on-ones. We do all these things to communicate to make sure they know that we're on their team. And that we also, for us, when you communicate a lot, you can tell when they're not on your team. You show up in the break room and everyone shuts up. Not a good sign. There was another discussion going on that I wasn't privy to that I wasn't included in, and that's a bad sign. So by being that constant communication, we really stay in touch with them, and they know. And as long as we always tell our team that the reason why our clients love us is because we care, and the same goes for Tuss and my management team. The reason why our team loves being here is because we care. And if we can keep that at the main thing, then everything else works its way out. I mean, it works out okay.
But it's not like we woke up one day and we had all this information.
Right.
We learned the hard way. We had some really hard things that we had to go through in order to learn these lessons. One of my most favorite quotes, though, we have it in a sign in the break room. It's a quote by Bill Gates, and it says, "Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning."
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to my soul, because it's the only bit of encouragement to know that you can glean something from a terrible mistake where you feel devastated, you know that you missed the mark, somebody's unhappy. It's the only thing to say that I can improve. This doesn't have to be this way. I can learn from this.
Yeah.
Sorry, my daughter's calling.
So tell me kind of some of the obstacles you guys have overcome or that you're currently dealing with as business owners who have expanded into a full staff of, there's 14 or 16 of you, you have 14 staff and the two of you, right?
Yeah, 16
So
total.
what are some of those obstacles that you guys have faced that a lot of lash artists aren't considering when they're thinking, oh, I'm just going to expand, but there's legalities and obviously realities to that?
Well, the most painful thing in the very beginning that happened was what we call a walkout.
It's a special club that almost every salon owner eventually gets to be part of.
God, my heart just aches hurting. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking.
And by the way, you say walkout and you're a salon owner and they will shudder and they may even be like shell shocked. Like they may start crying. And
so PTSD happening?
Yeah, absolutely. It happens almost 100% to every salon owner I've ever met.
So what's a walkout?
A walkout is basically when all your staff says, you suck. I'm going to go down the street really within walking distance and open a salon and take all your clients. And I might take some of your staff too. And that's what happened to us back
this whole mom mentality.
Yeah. And so 2013, we, like I said, we were not good leaders. We weren't good business owners. We thought if we were just nice, that was good enough. And I learned that was not. Mm-hmm. So they basically had 5 people leave. We had 7. So it wasn't much. We lost almost the whole staff.
2/3 of our business.
And 2/3 of our business went out the window that day. And I had clients cancel. I had people calling me, telling me I was a horrible person. And people.
It's not like they gave you their 2 weeks notice so that you could plan and have new staff, lined up, right?
Yeah, and for us, even 2 weeks, we take about 3 months to train our staff. So yeah, 2 weeks is going to kill us. So we basically had to walk out. And right now, we've probably trained the majority of the salons in Pasadena. So good news, if you come to Pasadena, you're going to get great work from anywhere. Courtesy of Integrity Lash. Yeah, so no, that was our biggest, probably our most painful thing. And from that, we also, as a side effect of that, we fell into what we call IRS debt. And I advise you, there's some things that shouldn't be paid in life, like maybe don't pay your mortgage, don't pay your credit card, don't pay yourself, but do not screw with the IRS in the state of California too, by the way.
They made it uncomfortable for you because you didn't owe them on time?
Yeah, we didn't pay them. And actually they came in, the day they showed up was on Christmas Eve on December 24th. Well, that's Christmas Eve, in 2013. I'm sitting there at the front desk working, and this wonderful woman walks in through the front door. I'm looking and go, she doesn't look like a client.
And you can tell she's got this chip on her shoulder, this little,
And there's some other clients in the place, and there's one staff member there, and she pulls out her badge and goes, "Hi, I'm with the IRS." And I'm like, "Oh, it's so good. I'm so glad you're." I just tell you fake. I'm like, "I'm so glad you're here. I've been looking forward to meeting with you." Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Are you bringing me a gift?
Oh my gosh. So we went to the back room and sat down, and she's like, "So when do you plan?" Actually, at that point we were make our payments again, but it's like, "When do you want to make good on all the missed payments?" And they're like, "Well, that's why you're here. We're going to talk about that."
And that goes back to you don't know what you don't know. And during our pre-interview, Tessany made the comment that just because you don't know the laws doesn't mean that you're exempt from them. And, as a lash artist and a service provider, running a business is a completely different skill set. And as you guys have talked about, running a business is a completely different skill set than managing a team. And you have to be committed if this is a path that you want to take in order to be able to be open to learning these things. Nobody expects you to know it right away, but there are very, very, very expensive and maybe even personally detrimental things that can happen to you if you're not protected. And you guys, I think, as far as your structure, you've incorporated, right?
Yes.
Right. So if somebody were to come at you with a lawsuit and you are not incorporated, you are then all of your personal assets, your home, your mortgage, not your mortgage, your cars, anything that you own personally is then up for the lawsuit. And as far as I understand it, you guys are currently dealing with a lawsuit, right?
Yes, and then we have a lawsuit. And by the way, you're not exactly protected by the corporate shield. For instance, with IRS, we both currently have liens against us as a corporation and as individuals. So we are making those payments. So the good news, we're in good terms with the IRS. We've made up. We owe a lot of money, but
you learn.
It's an expensive lesson. But secondly, with the lawsuit, and we can't go into too many details because obviously it's still pending. But that said, yes, we also, it's the corporate shield is there technically, but we've already been told by our lawyer they can pierce that corporate shield they want to, and we can still be liable for things personally. So it's not always the corporate shield, as much as that's important, it doesn't always work out the way you wish. And this is, again, we're learning as we go, and it's just life as it is. But I think for us, I know you want to say.
Well, I wanted to share the pain points about these major painful things that have happened to us. With the first one, with the walkout, what's so painful about that, the lesson that I took away from that was that clients don't belong to me. Staff doesn't belong to me. Also, even though we have a very good relationship with our clients and it's friendly and it looks like a friendship, you have to understand that they're not your friends. They don't owe you. They in fact, as a service provider, you owe them. The responsibility is on you. So to be hurt that they've gone on to someplace else it's not a reflection of you as a friendship. It's business.
It is absolutely 100%.
Yeah, you have to make sure that you're doing right for your business and you're keeping your mindset correct in that. And the painful part about the emotional part about the lawsuit is that we're going to recover from it, but it's being misunderstood by people that you co-labored with and that you labored for. These are relationships that they were investment for us, for me. And I still care about them as people. And it's painful that it's come to that. So I think there's a lesson in that.
And the big thing is, I was going to jump in and say, you just need to know the law.
Yeah.
And as Tara said earlier, is just because you don't know something's true doesn't make it not true. I mean, you're still on the hook. Yeah, and for us, I think we found ourselves many times on the hook for things that we just innocently did not know and research. So learning about the law, doing your research is key and paramount if you want to run a successful salon.
Right, and using somebody else who says, no, it's fine, just do 50% 50% commission, hire them as independent contractor, it's easy. Like, you guys are not the exception to lawsuits and walkouts. That's almost standard for anybody who's scaled their business in any industry. That just, as soon as you start to make a little bit of money, people come after that. They think, well, you owe me something. I've been wronged. I'm going to take action. In California, I think I get at least once a year a mailer of a class action lawsuit of a company I used to work for that somebody's going after them because they didn't get their 15-minute break or they worked a minute over 5 hours. Like, those are all things that happen in any industry. It's not unique to you guys. No. So that is something, while it's not a scare tactic to keep somebody from expanding, just know what you're getting into. That is the whole purpose of this 4-week series that I'm doing, is just be aware of what you're signing yourself up for. It's not that you're going to be spending, 3 weeks a year in Cabo while your team is managing a salon and you're just throwing back margaritas. This is, be intentional about running a business. Fall in love with running a business, because then it makes going through these ups and downs just a little bit more worth it, because you're fulfilled by the aspect of running a business, not because you want to be a lash artist who makes more money. There's plenty of other ways to do that without taking on all of this responsibility and risk.
Yeah.
Before we kind of wrap up here, guys, I want to know what top 3 knowledge nuggets you would share with the people watching of not only what was beneficial and what the good side of what you guys have created is, but also what should they consider for growing their business to include staff?
Well, I would say what you should do is get business coaching. If you're a lash artist, you don't necessarily know about how to do business. I mean, you don't know how to do business, and you need to be humble. You need to say, what is it that I don't know? You need to get the expertise that is out of your scope of expertise.
You need to be humble. You need to be a learner when you first start. Don't come in thinking you know it all. Just because you're a great stylist doesn't mean you're going to be a great business owner. It might be horrible.
Hashtag boss babe.
Yeah. So for us, getting a business coach, find some mentors, some people you can talk to who've been successful. But don't just say, just because they have a good Instagram doesn't make them they're successful. You need to really get into the nitty, because there's too many people out there kind of faking it till they make it. So for us, the things that we love Strategies. They're a company out back east who does coaching. They're a little expensive, I think, for the lash world. They're going to be like $1,000 a month, so they may not be it. But like we said earlier, Tara's doing coaching. She's really affordable compared to that. You should maybe raise your prices too, right? But
I don't do one-on-one coaching anymore. I don't coach on expanding for this reason, is that I don't think it's what most people want to get into. But I know you guys may have something in the works in the future. So Entree Leadership's another place I suggest following. They have great stuff. We actually ourselves have training we have coming down, Integrity Bootcamp, which I'll tell you more about that, and so forth. So another big thing that we say you need to do, this is what you really need to do. You need to read books. I know if you don't like reading, I'm sorry, get over it. Just start. Podcast, Audible.
We have Audible. I have like 30 books on my bed, next to my bed. I have Audible with another 10 books in that. And then we listen to podcasts, we read blogs. 2 books I wanted to recommend strongly if you're thinking about going into business or hiring people. The E-Myth is great by Michael Gerber. It's going to really open your mind to the idea of systems and how you really need to implement systems if you're going to be successful. And then The Ideal Team Player by Patrick Lencioni, a huge book about hiring.
Before you hire, you have
to read this book. It's going to change everything about hiring. And then another book, No Compromise by Neil Dukoff. He's the guy who runs Strategies. We're big fans. And really, he's going to help you think differently about how you structure your company and do this, what we call a team-based culture.
Okay, and I'll link to those books in the comments as well.
Awesome.
Okay, great. Just a little sidebar. I know that the lash industry is relatively new and there's not as many resources as there are for the hair industry. But just a little hint, tap into the hair industry. They've been doing it for years and years and years.
Lots of great stuff.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can, I mean, it's about hair, but it's very applicable to what we do. So, that's how we found out about Neil Dukoff. He's been an industry leader for about 25 years. And the principles that we've learned from Strategies has really saved our company. Yeah. But anyway, so that's just a little tip. And the other thing that we would say is seriously look into becoming a team-based culture or team-based pay company. It's not the commission model. We are not a commission salon, but it really produces the right kinds of attitudes and behavior that create a team. Instead of creating...
myself, and I mentality is what the commission model creates. The team-based model creates really an us and we culture.
So that's where like the total revenue for the day is then split up between who worked?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have team bonus that the whole team is fighting for every month versus when you have a salon that's commissioned, you don't want to share anything. If someone's new, you don't care if they're slow. You just care if your books are full because you make money only when you're working. With our salon, everyone's paid an hour, so it doesn't matter if someone cancels, no shows, you have to do a free touch-up, whatever, you're paid. You're taken care of. You're paid for trainings, you're paid for team meetings, you're paid for everything. So you're taken care of. Now your goal is to get the team busy, get everyone excited. We have a couple newer people on our team, so the staff's promoting them, telling, hey, get your friends in, come try them out. And that's what you get when you go with a team-based culture. It's a totally different vibe.
Before we were team-based, just to sums it up, one of our former staff had said, I don't want to do front desk lashes. You want me to work for free, and why should I do their lashes? They don't do anything for me. It's a complete different. Now, our staff is paid to do each other's lashes. They're paid to do touch-ups. They're paid if somebody doesn't show. They're paid for training. They're paid for their meetings, and it creates this team, this unity
environment. It took us a while. We had some incarnations that didn't quite work, but we're finally. I feel like we're in a place where the team really gets it. It's excited about this opportunity. We're moving forward.
Okay, so if you could say in one thing, what has been the best part for you guys in expanding your business?
Gosh, we wrote a bunch down, but I think the biggest thing is really helping people to grow professionally and personally. It really being the people business. We did this originally with a dream to grow a company that would take care of families, inspire people to be the best versions of themselves. And we would be to get to come along and be their coaches. We didn't see that originally, but that's what's evolved over time.
That's what's happened. We've had people that have made a goal, I want to buy a house, and then have done that. I want to pay off all my debt in a year, and they've done that.
So it's not just about business. We're actually basically almost discipling, you could say, and coaching and coming alongside as cheerleaders of these people say, I want you to succeed in life, and I'm here to help you do that. Not just professionally, but personally too.
So what you've created has then allowed somebody the ability, your staff, to purchase a house and pay off debt, and you are richly rewarding them and fulfilling them in their life. So that in turn then creates loyalty because you've helped them achieve their dreams that didn't mean that they had to take on the excess burden of running a business like a solo lash artist would. So I applaud you guys. I love the motto that you have. Go ahead and share with people where they can find out more about you and your Integrity Lash Bootcamp.
Yeah, we have a bunch of things that we are kind of simultaneously working on because we've, as the salon is kind of solidified now, we're going to begin to dream a little bit and moving into other areas. So yes, we do have our Integrity Lash Bootcamp. That's something that's going to be starting this fall. It might even be as early as August, but it's just basically it's going to be a 5-day or 20-day training program where you can come in and learn our technique. It's going to also be set up for lashes. And then we're going to have other bonus material like business stuff as well. We're going to start mostly with lashes because that's Tuss's thing. She knows that. And it's going to be about the way we do lashes. We're a classic only salon, which is quite bad. We don't do volume, but we do classic like it's on steroids, I like to say. So it's really different. And we'd like to teach people. It's just another tool to put in your tool belt. It's not saying volume's bad.
It's just another tool.
Another tool, so to expand your horizons on other ways of doing lashes. That way, your clients can go 4 weeks between appointments with good wear, not just 2 to 3 weeks. So we have that starting and just look at our social media. You can follow us at Integrity Lash Bootcamp. We also have a Facebook group. It's private, but you can ask to get in. We'll invite you on in. That's also Integrity Lash Bootcamp on Facebook. You can also follow us at Integrity Lash on Instagram. Social media, on Twitter, and we also have our website, integritylash.com. That's all that. Our biggest thing we're most excited about that we started in January was our podcast. And Tara, we've already told her we want her on, and I know we'll get her on eventually here. Right now that we have 6 episodes up, the 7th one is actually dropping today. And each episode is just a roundtable of Tusney, Christina, and Erica have been with us for years, and me, and we just talk about all things lashes. It's a little bit nerdy, and they're long. They're hour and a half long. So just put it on while you're lashing away or in your car and put it in the background. I promise you'll hear some new things, some different perspectives on lashing that we've been doing. These are 12 years of experience. Actually, it's like 30 years of experience combined, but 12 years as a salon that we're sharing our tips and how we succeed, why we succeed.
How we handle problem clients, how we handle challenges, that kind of stuff.
And it's what's the podcast called?
Oh yeah, here you go. That's important. LashCast podcast.
One word.
One word. LashCast is one word, and then podcast. So just look us up
on GooglePlay, iTunes, the normal
iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. They'll be on more as they go. Hopefully, eventually, even.
And you guys are going to be in Vegas this year for the International Beauty Show, correct?
Yes, we'll be at the first time. We taught at 2 years in a row. We've taught at ICE on Long Beach, and this year we're moving out also to Vegas, so it'll be at the IBS IEC SE show, and we're teaching 2 classes. One is a beginner course, meaning like how we do lashes. So even if you're a master lash stylist, you can still learn from this technique.
Because it's different.
So it's a great different. And then we also are teaching, this is more for those of you who are thinking about lashing. We have 2 classes of this. We're doing a Lash 101. It's just a Q&A, and we're going to be basically doing a little bit like Tara's doing here, just informing you like of your options and what's good, the pros and cons and all that.
Possibilities.
Yes, possibilities. You can dream in this class, hopefully. And hopefully we won't discourage you too much because we're just going to give you some real reality with it.
Fabulous. And for those of you who are considering expanding your lash business, I do have a download of the top 10 questions that you should ask before expanding your lash business. And you can find that at thelashpreneur.com/should-you-expand. Thank you so much, Paul and Tessany. This was so eye-opening, and I love you guys. I can't wait to meet you in Vegas. So thank you so much for joining me today. Everybody, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.